And we're back. What's going on, Dre?
Hey, what's going on? How you doing, Mister?
I'm chilling, bruh. I am chilling, trying to chill. You know, the weather is starting to become a little chilly now, which I appreciate. I ain't gonna hold you, as the kids say. I appreciate it. You know, I like to feel cool weather in November. When we had those 76-degree days, I'm like, the devil is a liar. So is this global warming, but it's telling the truth right now. You know, it is. But all I'm saying, brother, is I appreciate the cold weather coming in. The leaves starting to fall a little bit more, so it's kind of beautiful, you know. So yeah, brother, I'm chilling. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How many trees you got in front of your house?
None, thankfully.
That's why you like the leaves so much.
Exactly, brother. Exactly. You know.
Look at the leaves over there.
Look at them. Oh, that's so cute. They're raking leaves and blowing them over there. Make sure they don't blow this way though.
I'm outside.
I want no work.
Yeah, work it out. Yeah, the leaves, the trees are beautiful. There's a tree across, two trees across the street from me, and one was like bright orange, one was bright red, and the bright orange has lost all its leaves, and the bright red is starting to blow. And with this wind, I think by tomorrow everything's gonna be bare.
Mm-hmm. You're right. It has been windy. Yeah,
very windy. So, you know, doing good. I hear you with the cool weather. I'm appreciating having the heat on. Can't lie, I like it. It's toasty.
I hear you. Listen, that's Amanda's life.
Is
heat. I mean, again, that's probably the number one disagreement in the crib is the thermostat.
Yeah. Men and women run different temperatures. That's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
That's science. That's not my opinion. That's science.
Mm-hmm. This is true, brother. This is true. You know, and speaking of leaves and whatnot, you know, this is a random question, but it just popped into my head. Do you have a favorite tree?
Yeah. Hello. How are you? I do have a favorite tree. I'm thinking right now. I'm trying to remember the name of it, and it's a tree that's native to Japan, but they're all over Hawaii. You know those little bonsai looking trees?
Yeah.
Those are real things, and they get like huge, and they get real wide, they have a flat top. And I can't remember what they're called. They're like, I think it's like Johobi or something like that tree.
Okay.
It'll come to me as we talk along, but I think about that tree. Do you have a favorite tree?
Yeah, you know, I don't know. Again, I don't know why it popped up into my mind, but I was just thinking about it when I was growing up. You know, the tree that I really loved was weeping willows.
Oh, yeah.
I have no idea why, but I just always thought they were beautiful for whatever reason. I'm like, weeping willow, that's kind of sad. But I did like the alliteration. I did like the alliteration. So, you know, I like it. Weeping willow.
Okay. Weeping. You know what's good about the weeping willow, right?
To get the good shade.
They get the good shade. And they also, because a lot of trees, when the wind comes, it knocks branches off. But the weeping willow is real resilient, and it bends and then bends back.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I weeping willow. But the good shade, they're good. They're strong. They're strong.
You never know what you're gonna get in the barbershop. We over here talking about trees, brother.
I know, right? I think my Hawaii tree is either called the banyan tree or the hitchi. She's one of those two.
Okay.
It looks like a giant bonsai tree.
Got you.
Describe it.
Got you. You over here talking about international trees, brother. I'm not on that level, brother.
I want you to get there. You gotta go there. You gotta go. The weeping willow. The first time I saw that moss on a weeping willow, the moss is on a tree, I was like, "What's all that?" You know, that's actually a virus a tree has. You see this gray stuff on it?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, and we got some stuff to get into but I have another story though about a tree, which is kind of a heavy story though. It's a heavy story. Should we get into some brown first?
I think let's how you call it, lubricate the
the conversation. Yes, sir. So let's start with the shirts, good brother. What you rocking?
You know, I've pulled this. You know, this is from the, I probably said before, but it's from the Southern Poverty Law Center. Every time I visit, I get a shirt. So I have a lot of them. And for some reason this week, I just felt the need to keep putting it on. Like this is probably the third day I put on a different version of the shirt. You know, I got it in black, got it in gray, got it in whatever this is, orange or pink.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just feeling it.
That's dope. It's a nice shirt, brother.
First thing we did right was the day we started.
Right. Keep your eyes on the prize.
Hold on.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, so I had to. We need it. It's true. It's true. How about you? I see you back in the cut.
Oh yeah. You know, this was the first ever when we had our first ever episode, first ever session in the shop, and I put this on because I'm thinking about you, brother. I'm thinking about the future, and I have a question for you later, brother. Question for you later.
So you all deep today.
I don't know why, but just had a little Sunday. I had a little question for you later on, but yeah, man. So what you sipping on?
Well, now that I've gotten down to the shoulders.
What?
A little gift of some people.
What?
So I had to rock up the new riff, bring it back out.
How that happen?
What you mean?
All I'm saying is,
bam.
How that happen?
Sunday, yo. It's Sunday. It's a Sunday thing.
Must be one of them days, brother.
Totally. Monica said it.
If you haven't, there you go. If you haven't tried it yet, this tastes pretty good over a couple of ice cubes.
Oh, really?
I think it opens it up a little bit more, and it's 100 proof, so it tames it down a little bit, so like it doesn't punch you in the
Sounds good. All right, that's good to know. Are you doing neat or you doing ice cubes?
I'm doing neat.
Okay. Ooh, it's kind of a big pour, but hey.
It might be one. Hey, I see that. I see you, brother. You might need it
this Sunday.
Yeah. You got anything on your mind, brother, to toast to?
What you got?
First and foremost, I just want to talk about the fact that you and I are on the same wavelength, brother, because we bought the same bottle to the shop.
Yeah.
And this was not planned or nothing. But I want to toast to the fact that, we still here, brother.
Really are, aren't we?
We still here. I mean, there's a lot going on in this world, and there's a lot of folks who can't say the same. So I'm just grateful that we're still here.
Amen to that. Oof. You weren't kidding about 100 pro. Give me some ice.
Mm-hmm.
Calm it down. Whoa. Just had that second, like, wait, it's like, okay. Yeah.
It packs a punch. Hit you with a jab real quick, then come back with the hook.
Right, it's the new riff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, what's in your mind these days?
So, just to go back to the last piece when we talk about the trees and everything, something just came into my mind because things just always start swirling, etc. And I'm looking at this, I'm thinking about the ancestors, and I'm thinking about trees. And you said moss, so I'm thinking about moss, which led me to the time that I was in Savannah. And then, a man and I went to Savannah for one of our anniversaries. We were down there, and beautiful, quaint city, gorgeous little river walk, which is a nice space. That's when I was traveling for Swarthmore. I had went there by myself to look at a number of different schools, etc. And I went down by the river walk I think it's called River Walk. And I went to this one bar that was right next to like Wet Willie's or something like that. And that's the first time I had a Kentucky bourbon ale, a Kentucky bourbon ale beer, which was fantastic.
Wow.
Fantastic. But when we went there for an anniversary, we went on a Black History tour. And my goodness. Couple of things which related. One, I was just thinking about the ingenuity of our ancestors, our folk, because they said back in the day they made something that still stands, but they don't understand how it was created. Reminds me of the pyramids, brother, when people were like, oh, we don't know how this was created. But there was something called Savannah gray brick, and it's gorgeous brick, like gorgeous. They showed a house or a building with Savannah gray brick, and they said till this day they still don't know how to recreate it. They still don't know how to recreate that brick. Which was like a cool thing to see. But when we went on the tour, we were looking at a number of different spots. We went to like a church that was one of the first churches there, where folks used to go. And then also went to like a number of different places where it was like Underground Railroad spots and things of that nature. But one of the saddest things, one of the heaviest things, talk about trees, is that we went through like a grave site and there was a number of different trees. And brother, when they told us about these trees, it's like this was one of the whipping trees. My brother. Because trees, they're alive for years.
Yeah.
Years. And you can still, like, kid you not, still see marks and everything. And it's like, my goodness. So when we talk about the history, and that's why it's so important, the work that you do, the civil rights tours and things that you do, we talk about how far we've come. It's like, okay, I get that. But let's not forget how short ago, because folks make it seem like it was years ago. It wasn't that long ago. So much so that some trees still bear these scars. And that was just something that popped into my mind, brother.
Yeah, because the tree grows, and those scars should be high up. But yeah, trees are around some of them around for a century or more. And they were there and experienced it. Wow, I wasn't expecting all that.
So to be a tree, brother, like, if I say that these walls could talk, if these trees could talk, some of these historians, man, these trees done seen it, been a part of it.
Yeah.
My goodness. So yeah.
Had to participate in some evil.
My goodness.
Without their just had no, it's just the way it was. And it's interesting because when you're talking about Savannah, I was like, oh, that's from the state that's what now? Democratic state. State switched for the first time.
Shout out to Stacey Abrams.
Exactly. Come on, Stacey. It's interesting. I'm still sitting with the notion of the whipping marks and etc. And this history that we see that is right with a part of us that is so real. We have to accept it and live with it. By going to Stacey Adams, I was getting into it with one of the young people who reposted something that someone else said. They were like, when people were starting like shout out and celebrate Stacey Abrams. Sorry, excuse me, Abrams. I said
Stacey Adams is the shoes you wear to prom, brother.
Exactly. Hurt your feet. Fuck your skin. My bad. Stacey Abrams. They were talking about how we need to not celebrate this one person and understand that it was a whole movement. And I said, yes, and give her props too. What's like, I'm all for being radical and changing a different thought, different ways of being. But sometimes I feel like the work, sometimes folks are just popping off to pop off. And it's more about them getting their attention. I'm not sure they're really concerned. Yes, I get it. Decentralizing leadership, employer thing. Like I get, like that's the thing. That's how folks are proceeding. Yes, you can do that, and you can shout out Stacey because she worked. Come on, she did more. She did more. My mind goes to like, you sitting here with a tweet, and she's out organizing millions of people.
Talk about it.
And you and your tweet feel like we need to know. We need to say that ain't just hot. And it's like, shut up. That's jelly in my mind.
You're right.
You ain't all that. You think you better than me. It's like you hear somebody saying that, you realize they are having personal struggles. It ain't about nothing but them. So I saw someone else is like rebroadcasting it, and I just wrote and they're like, well, I feel my position is to decentralize leadership, If the way for me to learn and grow, let me know. I was like, I ain't got time to reply to all that. It's like I said all I'm going to say is, not interested in being everybody's facilitator. Oof.
That's wow. That hit me. That just hit me, brother.
It just hit me.
That's like, because I've always been looking for nicer language. I've been looking for nicer language, and that's the language right there. I'm not interested in being anybody or everybody's facilitator.
Yeah. I made it to rename my company that.
I'm like, wow, yep, that's it right there.
It's true because it's such a sign of how things are not going to change, because people are still like, I know I shouldn't bug you, and I want to ask these 10 questions.
Yes.
And you're like,
Mhm.
I had a session this past week with some kids, and they were good kids. I was talking all about the history and this and that. I was in high school. First question, because I was talking about systemic racism, unequal distribution of wealth, and giving historical facts about how it went down. First question. Well, putting people before we talk about handing out stuff to people and giving things to people and accusing white people, should we talk about how people who are on the other end, should they get handouts? Should they be forced to work and do it themselves? Should they just pick themselves up by their bootstraps?
Mhm.
I was like, thank you, young man. I appreciate your words, but let me break it down for you, brother.
Break it down. Break it down.
Like how you gonna tell somebody to pull themselves up by their bootstraps if they ain't got no boots? Let's start right there. So it was it's just interesting. This just real interesting. Getting into it, trying to understand and grasp and conceive. So
Well, you gotta teach the youth. Hats off to you, brother.
you really do. You really do. You really do. And have a fair and balanced conversation, because I don't believe in. I've had moments where I've been like, hush to some people, like, hush, because this isn't worth anything. But I try and do the best I can to have communication and dialogue and help people grow and move forward. But it could be a lot.
Yeah. So I mean, thinking about that, brother. Just a question just popped into my mind. I'm sure you've boiled water in a tea kettle before, right? And it's that moment when it just it's very quiet, and then it starts to get a little bit, and it's like, and it starts to scream and whistle. Now, if you are in a situation where you're dealing with some folks who don't really understand what's going on in the world, or they don't know actually how things have been and why you do the work that you do, how do you avoid yourself or avoid you becoming that tea kettle that's screeching? So like when your thermometer is starting to turn up to the point where your whistle's about to go, and maybe the top might pop off and all the smoke come through. Like how do you stop yourself from getting to that point, particularly in these spaces when some folks will try you, brother? Asking for a friend, by the way.
Yeah, right, exactly. Some teapots that do that start to boil and bubble and shake and the water spills out. Some of them just give you a real nice whistle. You don't know that you're really hearing it until you like up on it. You pour the tea. Oh, this looks good. And you sit like, oh, this is hot. I try and be that, because I don't believe in silence. Like I don't hold back. I'm like, yeah, bring it. I love it when that's the first question. In my facilitation moments, in my keynoting dialogues, I love when the first question is like, nah, what's wrong? Because I'm like, excellent, bring it on. For one, they're not sitting in their room by themselves or just with someone else who's going to agree with 100%. They're actually out in public having this conversation. So I'm with that. But the way I handle myself in those moments is I let myself whistle loud and make some noise. Because too often I've been trained with respectability politics to move the pot off the fire and like shh. No, I don't believe in taming it down. And believe me, I burn people's tongue and they don't even know it.
Love it.
Love
it.
They're like, ooh, I wasn't ready for all that. It's like, well, you shouldn't have poured this in a cup. Go let it sit and study for a while before you just grab it and sip it. You wasn't ready. You wasn't ready. It wasn't ready for you. Like, step back. So yeah, I don't believe in, and I think it's even more prevalent and present after all that's happened this past spring. I don't believe in editing as much as I used to. I do believe in finding the balance, but I'm ready to be the pot, like jumping up and down on the stove.
I appreciate that distinction, brother. In terms of not editing, like not being willing to edit as much as before, but that balance piece. I think that's a key distinction. It's a key distinction, because some folks edit and they think they're being balanced, which you're not. You're pacifying, you're placating.
Exactly.
But finding that piece, yes, thank you for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Get this dance. Yep. Ain't nobody got time for that. Get this dance. We need both of them. We need both of them women in a t-shirt. Ain't nobody got time for that. Get this dance.
Completely. I hope those sisters. I know the first one. Ain't nobody got time for that. The world wasn't ready to give her what she deserved, but you can get this. Your job. I hope she's monetized that situation.
Oh my goodness, that would be great.
It's a different world right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's yeah. Is that? Do you handle the? How do you handle it?
Brother, I'm just taking notes. This is like I'm taking notes, brother, honestly, because there's times when I try to find that balance too, because I am that guy who will go in, like I'll go in calm, cool, and collected. There's times when I might go in a different, like the Harlem might come out. But I think what I do is I ask questions. I start to ask questions. Because I think if I ask questions, one, I'm being cognizant of the fact that I have to formulate my words in a certain way that can still get at the heart of the matter, but it's not me like coming at them, like bust around, rah, like a dungeon dragon. I'm trying not to do that yet. There's time and place for that. There's a time and place for that, but I don't want that to be my first response. So I'm keeping in mind the things that you say. Go hard in the paint, but you don't always have to be going to the paint. You can balance and be over here shooting the 3-pointer. You know what I mean? So thinking about that piece is something that I'll take away from this conversation for sure.
Yeah, you gotta take care of yourself. Because ain't nobody gonna do it as well as you can. Well, that's not 100% true, but in those spaces, that's self-care, and also you don't have to do everything.
Yep.
You don't have to be able to do everything. Like sometimes saying no and checking out is the best practice of self-care ever. I was talking to someone this week about speaking on the panel, and she's like, I need you to do this, and I was like, I don't do that. That's not how I function. I can give you the name of some people that would do that, but that's not my stilo.
Yeah.
With money, I'm walking away from money. I'm like, this is quick money. 35-minute long panel, good money. And I was like, that's not what I do. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to set myself up. So yeah, so it's the balance is a tricky thing. But when you can achieve it, it's good.
Respect that 100%, good brother.
Yeah. You gotta take care of yourself. Get me thinking about that. The teapot. Because I do believe in being like, woo, like people. I love so two incidents happened this past 2 weeks. Trying to figure out how delicate I could be. Where people just came out of their mouths and they didn't know what they were saying. One person, white man, called me colored and referred to people of color. And I was like, and I let it sit there. And towards the end, I was like, I just want to revisit some language we heard today. Nomenclature is one that constantly changes and develops. And we don't really use colored anymore. So let's just think about those words, and probably doesn't come up, but I don't want this moment to pass without me acknowledging that. Another time, a brother was like, yeah, this, that, and the third, since I'm fair skinned. And I was like that pet peeve isn't the right word, but it's always like, I'm going to teach you. Because fair skin is used constantly. Michelle Obama, who I love, in her book Belonging, she had it like 7-8 times. My fair skin sister, my fair skin friend, I'm like, I hear that word, I'm just like, does that mean that my skin is unfair? And I get it, it's just a word. It doesn't really mean all that much. But for me, I believe in like disrupting those moments. Like, let me educate you for what's going on for me. Because to go back to what you said about this tree and slavery not being the longer, slavery is only a great grandmother away, and great grandmother was actually up in it. My great grandparents remembered as children. And then some people, those people remember like being people that were born and lived as slaves. That wasn't that long ago. It wasn't that long ago. We're a young country relative to all of this. So the constant changes, things we have to speak up against and for are powerful.
Absolutely. I mean, just thinking about it, the schools that I've worked at and the schools that I work at, they were either founded during slavery or right at the end of it. So, I mean, like, if we're going to talk about the history of these institutions, let's talk about the history of these institutions.
And if they were right there at the end of slavery or during it, even if it was like 5 years afterwards, it's not fixed. Nothing isn't fixed today. If as bad as things are, with the numbers that we have, the fact that there are more people incarcerated per capita than there were people enslaved right in America, with the majority of that being Black and Latino, how much has really changed? And so imagine what the world was like when these schools started and what they were doing. Our blood is in these walls. Our blood is in these walls and in this earth. I thought it was Sunday. You got me all up in here. Into the realms of existence. Struggle.
Oh, goodness. No, I appreciate it. I appreciate all of it. All of it.
It's real. It's real. It is not a joke.
You got anything on your mind or anything you want to get off your chest, brother?
Well, it's interesting because I've been thinking a lot about, I hang with the Quakers, bless their hearts, and I went to a little adult class this morning.
Okay.
And it was on vocal ministry. And it was on the notion of when and how, when to speak, and talking about quaking, and how you feel it, you get up and talk and speak. And it was interesting to see people go back and forth talking about feeling it and just speaking it. Because we all read a document that came together. And the document was trying to break it down. And folks were like, well, I'm resistant to that because I don't think that this is too organized and formal. And for me, it's organic and it happens. And I was like, I don't think the piece is saying that it's not. It's just saying, if you find yourself talking about foolishness, sit down. Don't get up, because I do think about that. I like the organization of Quakerism, but there are times I'm just like, I don't want to have a race conversation. I'm in church right now. I don't want to have a conversation about equity and justice. I have to show you all what you're doing wrong. And those moments pop up. So and then it's I think Quakerism got me interested because it's such a contrast to how I grew up. My church was loud, people passing out, running up and down the aisle, singing. The pastor preached for like 40 minutes, and that's after 2.5 hours of church, and then there's more stuff. Like church was a long ceremony. We would go and have lunch, which was delicious, and then come back to this for the rest of the service, and then go somewhere else that night. Somewhere like our church was like an all day, all night affair to me. And then like Saturday Bible class and Tuesday night Bible study, choir rehearsal on Wednesday. So it was like, involved. And then the Quakers like, 45 minutes, just shh. So that's all it is. And I was like, oh, okay, let's see what this is about,
Yeah.
And so I guess what I come to was, I was thinking about this, and this kind of connects, but kind of doesn't, but the levels of truth, or the levels of truths, and how far we go. And I don't know why my mind just went there, because we're studying about like what is worthy of saying and what they're sharing. I think it's Philippians, whatsoever things are worthy, whatsoever things are true, think on these things. All that stuff is in there. And I find myself thinking, it's totally like random head. Like when are you truthful and honest with people? When is that level? I went to a real basic spot. Like when you tell somebody their breath stink, do you say, how you've been talking to somebody, you feel like your nose hairs are burning talking to you? Yes. You just like, and all you can think is like, if I can smell that means you could taste it.
Oh, whoa.
Right? And it's just like, how do you walk around like that? And the question I have for you is, who are the people in your existence in your life that my very long intro, it took me a long time to get there. But who are the people that you feel comfortable or this feels necessary, or you actually take the opportunity to tell them their breath stank? Who are those people in your life that you be deeply honest with?
That's a good question. I think for me, it boils down to the whole notion of respect. So it's respect and relationship. And it's, do I respect you enough that I care to potentially hurt your feelings and potentially hurt our relationship? Because I'm telling you the truth that might not be easy for you to hear. So I think it comes with respect. But the relationship piece also is, are you a peer of mine? Are you someone who's in a authority position? What's that relationship like? So I would say it comes down to respect and relationship for me. So, the folks who I really have a deep level of respect for, or if I respect them as my close friend or close family member, I'll take it to that space. There's sometimes when I might triage certain situations too. It's like, is it worth it right now? And it might be like, okay, I let you slide yesterday when we had a conversation, but it's a whole new day and your breath still kicking, bro. It's a whole new day. So either you didn't do something to fix the problem between yesterday and now, or this is a reoccurring thing that happens daily. It's a part of your daily routine that needs to be evaluated, interrogated, and probably changed. So I think it really comes down to respect and relationship. It comes down to, is it important in the moment? Because sometimes someone might be having a bad day. I'm not going to make their day worse.
Right.
I'll revisit it at another point.
Right.
But I think it's respect, and I think it's, you probably have history with that person. You've probably gone through some stuff together to the point where you can make those type of conversations or let someone know what's really going on. So I think that's what it is for me. I'm a little bit more reserved to begin with in terms of just like, I'll just offer to speak just to speak. So like I really need to be either like done with it, like I'm hanging on to like one last nose hair, it's like my mustache is starting to shrivel up, and there's no razor present, like one of those things, right? So I think it has to do with that too. But yeah, I think really about respect and relationship, and do we have that history? Am I confident that this is the time and space to do it where you'll be able to be receptive? If not, at least our relationship is strong enough to work through it.
Yeah, relationship strong enough. Is it worth it? All those. It's, for me, it also comes down to like somebody may just not have there may be something wrong with them, or they ain't got the money for a dentist. They just got rotting teeth.
Yeah.
But when it's like you just floss and brush, like, hey, chew this gum.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that. I respect that. I like how you described and talked about that in terms of the level of the relationship, and also knowing yourself, knowing that you ain't out here like to tell everybody up in their face. Yeah, and some folks are real. So you could crush somebody with that. Some of them are real sensitive. Even though it's like, if I smell it, you must smell it too. I think about I probably talked about this before. Samora has this routine. One of my favorite comedians, and she's like, I can't mess with kids. I can't mess with kids because they are brutally honest, and they will blank you up. She said, I was in the store and I saw this guy with his son trying on some glasses. And he's like, hey, what'd you think of these? And the kid was like, the glasses look good. Now you need to get your teeth fixed. Right?
Kids don't play.
No, just coming out like that. It's just like, dag. You ain't gotta be that brutal. But they can't help it. Like, now you just get your teeth fixed. Messed up. So, yeah, I guess I thought about that in the context of, because during the whole exercise for the Quakers, the whole idea was like, there's some people who just need to hear this stuff and like get up and talking about nothing. This is a spiritual religious space. You're supposed to be moved by the spirit and get something that's going to be loving and caring and educational and faith-based for the community. Not just it's like the you talked about it. I think we talked about the whole testimony in church. That service before the service. with sister so and so, or brother deacon so and so,
Mhm.
tell the same story every week. You know, and it's like I give them their respect, but it does get a little bit. Okay, we heard that last week. You talk about your dog. You talk about your dog again.
Yeah, yeah.
This is space to talk about your dog.
Yes, absolutely. And I think for me, it also comes down to care and concern because there's times when I'm like, I think people know if I stop talking to you, because everybody should know by now. The boys from Harlem, right? So we roast people. You know what I mean, that's how we show love. Like we start cracking on people. Like I do that with students too. I go into the classroom. I see stuff. I start talking. Blah blah. We crack jokes back and forth. We just riffing. That's how we do it. So I tell people the minute I stop talking to you, or the minute I stop being honest with you, is the minute I really don't care. Is the minute when I've given up on us or whatever this space is. And I feel like, that's another piece of it. It's like, are you worth it? Are you worth the energy, the potential recoil, the potential working through of this issue or fallout? Like, are you worth it?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's really about that care and concern too, not just for myself, but for the other person. And I think that's when I might like step back away. The only other caveat is even if I don't respect that person, are they doing something that's damaging to people that I care about and respect?
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when it's like, okay, I have to say something.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's like in the Quaker space, that's when you should be moved to speak.
Right.
You might start quaking, your heart starts pounding, you have to say something because you care about the folks that this person's influencing or hurting.
Yeah. Or they care about them and they might be influencing hurting themselves.
Yes.
That's the other part.
Yes.
It's tough when some people just don't hear it and don't listen. You're like, yo, and they come back to you like, you're not gonna believe what happened to me. And you're like, I tried to warn you.
Mm-hmm.
And folks don't hear it. And everybody has to have their own process. You can't make a horse drink water.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I'll think about that a little bit more.
Yes, sir. Well, I said I had a question for you. You see the shirt, they in the barbershop talking, we're in a barbershop talking. And I've seen people in barbershops talking. Now, brother, numbers are going up. Numbers are going up. So should there be another stoppage or closure of barbershops? I'm concerned for you, brother, because you shared with us about your journey to see your dude to get it fixed up. Now, brother, because you're no longer in New York, brother, so I need to know as a concerned friend, do you have a plan in case you can't get to the shop, brother? Like, are you going to buy some clippers? Do I need to do a video tutorial? I can't help in certain spaces. But all I'm saying is, brother, what can I do to help you? I want you to think ahead before thinking, just in case you have to activate the emergency plan. What is it that you're going to do, my brother? I just need to know.
I went to a new barber.
Okay.
Here in the hood. Walked down the street. Went in there. So at first I went. I called and I was like, "Yo, can I get the owner? His name is Joe. I was like, can I get in with Joe?" Like, oh yeah, Joe he's here. How long before you can be here? I was like, I'll be there in 5 minutes. Like, okay. Went in. And Joe was like, okay, it's 3 heads ahead of you. And I was like, I ain't sitting in here.
Yeah.
In the barbershop waiting on 3 heads. And there was a guy getting his hair cut. And homeboy, oh my God, I was like, yo, wash your hair. Like it was really dry.
Ooh, I know what you're talking about, brother.
And I was like, you could tell he just had been putting a product in his hair. Wash it. I was like, I don't want to go 3 times after him. And Joe was like, yeah, I sanitized after everything, so it's a little cold.
Oh, brother. I
was like, that's good to know, but I'm watching homeboy just like, So I was like, check it out. Can we set up an appointment another time? You do that? He's oh yeah. I was like, I want like Friday at 8:00. He was like, oh, you gotta call me, remind me. And I was like, no problem. Called, reminder. He showed up. We ran. It was me and him in the barbershop.
There you go.
And I was like, this is what it's about. Like he opened the shop, cleaned off everything. So yeah, I had a thought there. I was like, I need to go. It's time for my A-lines are my A-liners are from sophomore year in college.
Uh-oh. Brother.
I know. It's time to get a new one. So I was thinking I need to go to the shop and get my own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so just doing all
Yes,
things.
sir.
So it's time for me to get my own. So I'm gonna go over to that big old hair braid place that's all
yeah.
right next to the Stop and Shop. I'm gonna go in there and get my stuff. Hopefully don't get followed. I don't know who owns it. You know how it usually is. You get followed all around the store.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go in there and get my stuff, get some stuff, and just be prepared. Because I feel like it's interesting. We're talking about going back in lockdown, and I was like, we haven't really come out of lockdown. We've found a way to survive and figure it out during lockdown, but we're really, truly out of lockdown. If you're true, we were out of lockdown, I'll have you over here every couple of days. You know, I'll come for dinner, come chill. But it's true. The world is not like that.
True.
The numbers are rising up, and it's scary. I think numbers are higher than they were when this first came out. It's no joke.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. So you know, everybody got to start planning. You know, get your groceries. You know, you get your TP, get your paper towels. So that's funny how it works. You know, toilet paper and paper towels. That's TP and PT. Okay, I see that.
Look at you figuring stuff out.
Look at that. Right? Woo! Won't he do it? It's Sunday. It's Sunday, brother. Sunday. Get all the stuff set up. You know, get your clippers ready. You know, I'm ready. Just in case.
Yeah, we need to because they ain't no telling what's gonna happen. You know,
right?
Ain't no telling what's gonna happen. They talk about vaccines and this and that. What's your take on if the vaccine comes out in 2 weeks? Would you take it?
No.
Why not, Harlem?
No. So, brother, I think we already had this conversation. You know, because I haven't had a flu shot before. And I didn't say this last time, but I've never had the flu. By the grace of God and by me making sure I take care of myself in terms of vitamins, etc., all those things. You know, I make sure I take care of my vitamin C every day.
So you're preventative in another way. Go on.
Yes. So, and because there's certain things I don't want to put foreign entities in my body. Because I know how vaccines work. It has a piece of the virus in it in order a strain of it. Blah blah. I understand all this stuff. And you know, I've seen it. Like I've seen it because you know Amanda has to get it because you know the space that she's in, etc. And you know, I've seen reactions to it. You know, folks get sick just by getting the vaccine. I'm not saying that you know. I would do my due diligence and research to see exactly if it's for me, if I need it, etc. But I'm like, brother, I'm wary of like if a new iPhone come out. Like I'm not an Apple person. But it's like if the new iPhone, like the Popeyes chicken sandwich came out, and everybody and mama in line getting it, and I'm like, let me see what happens first with these other folks. You know, I'm usually like PlayStation 1 came out, you know, and then they got you know all these other things. I'm usually like on the next wave. Like I need those early adopters, or early adopters to get in line first and do that thing, and I can get a little bit more data, right? I'm a very analytical person, right? I'm not an experiential learner in that sense. I want to be analytical and see other people's experiences to help inform my own. So if it was ready and out, I'm like, that's great. I'm gonna keep living my life the way I've been living my life in terms of my precautions, etc. And then, you know, I can talk to all the people who took it. So I don't know. It's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate that even though I believe in science and I understand what it can do, I understand the people who have their hands involved and the power that they have and the corporations that are tied to it and the profit and all this other stuff. So I need more information before I sign up for that bad boy. Like, for example, this was the controversial piece, and I understand too, because they were talking about, I think it was a couple of HBCUs that signed up to be a part of the study. I think it was Dillard, another one. You know, the president was like, yeah, I'm actually on the study, blah, blah, blah. Because what happens though, whenever they're doing these testing trials to develop vaccines and, to develop treatments, we don't have enough information on Black folks to help, inform what the vaccine should look like, the strains, etc. I get that piece. I also get the piece about Tuskegee. I also get the piece about Henrietta Lacks. I also get the piece about all these things that continue to happen that we see. So I'm trying to balance all those things together, understanding that if we don't have folks participate in these trials, then we don't have the data information. But I've also seen folks participate in these trials or not participate, but be forced to participate, and things have happened from that. So it's what this. I saw one meme that was like, being Black is exhausting. It's exhausting, brother. So it's like all these things that we have to do mental gymnastics to figure out whether or not we should take a vaccine that could save our life. Could save our life. So I just, it's tough, brother. I say all that to say, come out in 2 weeks. I'm like, hey, yo, JoJo, you get that vac? Let me know how that's working, bro. All right.
Well, anybody seen JoJo? He look. He ain't not grow another arm or anything, did he?
I need to know. I need to know.
Right.
What about you, good brother?
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm in line for the new iPhone. The day before they say it's coming out, because I want to see for myself. And I've been fortunate that I haven't had many moments I was like, dang. I've had a few been like, dang, that wasn't worth it. But in terms of the vaccine, I don't know. I feel a little bit like I need to do my part in that respect and contribute. But it's not to be ignored. Henrietta Lacks and Tuskegee are like the big ones, or say the more popular ones. But let's talk about homeboy in Montgomery, Alabama, who's the father of gynecology, who developed all those approaches on women with no anesthesiology, nothing. That is horrible.
Yes.
And it's playing out to this day, where people think that African Americans are harder, stronger, tougher when it comes to like pain and medication and support.
I think that we literally have thicker skin, literally.
Right. Yeah, so I get the caution. I get it. I'll keep watching and see. I want something to happen. I'm not on the fence. I'm not on the position of like Bill Gates is implanting chips in us. I don't feel bad. I'm not at that level. But I do understand and fully get the like being cautious and making good decisions, which you should about anything. You should never just do something because it's right away. Like, do your research, read, be a critical thinker, and think about it critically and approach it cautiously and find the way into it. So,
yeah, and, I don't want to start trouble today, brother. I just, what I'm saying is that, there's a lot of times, because I was having this conversation because, I'm in spaces with a number of different people. I'm talking about, if I look at my personal close friends, I think about my colleagues, I think about my Facebook friends who might have used to be personal close friends, but now they're like Facebook friends, all this type of stuff. And I see everybody's perspective, etc. You think about this election season, you think about everything that's been happening. You think about mask wearing and the politics and how politicized it is, right? There's just so many things when I just look at people's intellectual inconsistency and when I look at folks' hypocrisy, really, because it's like, not to get into too much stuff, but it's like, okay, you got people who are like, let's just say the folks who are like pro-life, for example, right? They're just pro-life and they're like anti-abortion. No. Needs to be mandated. You can't have a right to terminate your baby at any time, blah, 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 blah. So you're okay with the government saying what you can do with your body, yet you're anti-mandatory vaccinations.
Right.
So like, no, the government can't do. So I'm sifting through all these pieces, and at the end of the day, I'm like, we are interesting people.
We are a mess.
Like at one moment, you're screaming to the mountaintop saying government should be able to say X, Y, and Z. They can say whatever they want to do with your body, etc. Blah blah. When it comes to vaccine, no government's going to tell me what to. It's just so much. So I hold all these things together, and I'm always skeptical of certain things. And I always need to do my due diligence, get my information so I can make an informed decision about what's best for me and my family. And like you said, other people. Because I want to do my part too. I want to do my part too to make sure that I'm not putting other people at jeopardy. Of course, me and my family, but I don't want to put other people in jeopardy either. I'm not that type of person. But like it's just all these things and how things get so politicized, and then how folks don't even realize that they're talking out of both sides of their mouth sometimes.
Yeah, completely. And it's kind of funny. Completely. You said a lot there. I'm processing it, and I'm thinking about my Lord Jamar, who great rapper, but I follow his Instagram page, and like my brother, like what you talking about? His new thing is like he's like talking about how masks are actually deadly, and he had a piece about how dentists are not recommended because apparently the toxins that you're breathing back in are messing up your teeth. And I was like, dude, that sounds a little bit like porch talk. It's like, what dentist said this? And I worry about those kind of moments where people have a platform, and it's your uncle just popping off, and it's like, this is rude on something or something you heard, or something you researched, or you putting people's lives at risk without really fully understanding what you're talking about. So I hear you, and we all have it is an individual choice to decide what to do with your body, and you have to take in all the factors and pieces, information, and facts, I'll even say, and make a decision that's best for you. And all anything else can do is respect that, and then go take care of ourselves, because it's a big one.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. I mean, and like you said, there's a lot of social media scholars out there. It's a lot. It's like, where you do your research? Oh, right. At another YouTube channel? Nah. You can't be citing YouTube channels, bro. Where you do your research. So it's a lot out there. There's a lot of stuff to sift through, a lot of noise and nonsense to sift through on a daily basis and understand. You got to fact checkers. It's just so much in this day and age, man.
Agreed. Wow.
But I think you might have solved the mystery of the person whose breath might not be as pleasant. Maybe it's a mask wearing because all the toxins and come on, bro. The dentist.
No.
Last time I checked, every time a dentist has done anything for me, they've been wearing a mask.
Exactly. Even before.
Yeah. Even before. Now, what I will say, it messes up your beard, and you might break out a little bit more so because it's not good. You gotta get some stuff that if they could come out with some masks that got like the little vitamin E or some type of aloe vera on the inside to make sure we're good.
Hold on, Harlem. Why they gotta do it?
You right?
Come on now.
You right?
You put a good idea out there, yo. If we manufacture aloe vera masks,
Listen, okay, you're right. I need something that can help me exfoliate and make sure that my edges are snatched on my beard. You know what I mean?
We need to invent the mask for girls, lay the baby hair down.
Yes.
You put this on, lay your baby hair down instantly.
I need that in my life. It's crazy. Listen, you could wake up, like I wake up, do my thing, whatever, make sure the beard is looking good and luscious and moisturized and everything. But it doesn't matter because all the oxygen and stuff just gets trapped, Then when you take the beard off, then it's like different layers. It looks like you're in a stadium where you got like double-decker seats. You got part of the beard right here, the other one's back and deep. You got the nosebleeds up. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
I see you thought about this.
It's fashion. Listen, I'm appreciative of what I got left, and I got to take care of that, right? I believe the word says. I believe scripture says something to the effect of, you have to be mindful over a few in order for you to be trusted with many. You know what I mean? So clearly, I'm trying to make sure I'm mindful over a few. And maybe, brother, 5 years from now, I'm going to have locks. Who knows? Dre? Who knows?
I want that for you.
Might be blessed with abundance, man.
I want that for you. That's beautiful. I had a final question, but you threw me with the lot.
I'm sorry.
Threw me. So my final question I have for today is, what's up with your boy? Why won't he concede? What you gonna do?
Well, we were tweeting back and forth this weekend. You know, that's what we do. And, you know, I just don't, it's like, have you ever met a narcissist who didn't want to make things about themselves?
Mm-mm.
I don't know. So it's like, if I concede, that's almost like me welcoming the plan for me to get arrested. And you know, it's like you running out of tricks, bro. And yes, there's a lot of things that can be done, blah blah, all this other stuff, blah blah. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's white male privilege at its best, at its best, at its best. And it's like I care about nothing and no one but myself and my best interests. That's all it is. That's all it is. So, you know, it's just let it go. Let it go.
Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen. We're getting down. Are we below 50 days yet? We're getting close to 50 days.
Mm-hmm.
You lost your job.
You lost your job.
Get
you about to get like keep playing games. You're going to be evicted, bro. Secret Service is going to evict you, bro.
They gave you the chance to have a peaceful exit.
Like, get the knocker. Boom, 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 boom.
All you gotta do is pack your stuff and quietly leave.
Remind me to see the Black Panther. They're not going to knock again. They're not going to knock again. Exactly. They coming through them doors, bro.
Exactly. I guess I thought of that question because you put in that mind of, you know, what you do affects how you affect the many. What you do for the few affects how you say it again.
You have to be trusted with a few so you can be trusted with much.
There you go. And he wasn't good with anything. So we'll see. Just watch all this go down.
Yes, sir. So we shall see. But this is a delightful conversation, brother. We went all over the place.
Sure. The trees, the beers, we invented something.
Yes. Yes, that we can sell in the shop.
Right.
Speaking of selling in the shop, see what we need folks to do. I'm gonna start because I've been studying YouTube and everybody, you know what they do. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, right? And then maybe, just maybe, the barbershop might have to pop open a merch shop, Get what y'all get. Maybe we can get you those aloe vera masks, you know what I mean?
Brown Juice Barbershop.
Word.
That soothes you. Come on.
Ooh.
Come on.
Ooh. And we might have to get some scented ones, Smell like the brown,
Right.
A little to get you through.
Something that can negate the hot breath.
Yes.
I just brush and floss, and it's like it's tight up in here.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, you got anything you want to toast to?
To the ability to have great grand conversation.
Ooh. Yes, sir.
A toast to our grand conversations. It's a beautiful thing. So everybody subscribe right now and check like. Is that what I'm supposed to say? Check like.
Yeah. Check like, click like, pop like, whatever. Just make sure you like it. Share the video too. Subscribe, all that. Help us grow.
Easy to do.
Yes, sir. Well, until next time, stay healthy, stay safe. It's the Brown Juice Barbershop. Peace.
Brown Juice Barbershop.
We out.